Allo, 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 allo. Sound check. Oh, rapid roar, that's a cowboy. Well, he's a too much to believe. You know, he's always got an extra pack of smoky smokes rolled up in his t-shirt sleeve. He's got a tattoo on his arm to say, baby. He got another one to just say, hey. He is an Oklahoma demon in a fastback demon. Hey, everybody, in a 67 Chevrolet. How are we doing today? I'm feeling really good today, which is awesome. It's kind of been a minute. I don't want to be a downer, but I've been struggling, and today I feel really good. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to hang out with you guys, and I just want to know what's going on. I don't have structure. I have no structure. What is structure? I don't know. I'm gonna treat myself to an old school Dr. Pepper, and see you beautiful people coming on in. Thank you very much. Stephen P, what's going on? Logan, 2 nights in a row. I know. I can't stay away. Last night, I started to crash my energy thing. That it's a problem when I sit down. I really have a tough time lately with the chronic fatigue thing going on, and I hate it. I've never dealt with anything like it in my life. It makes my brain foggy. It makes me slow, makes me lose track of words and like sentences that I was working on. And I'm just useless until I take a nap. And then I'm good for another 6 hours or whatever. Well, I'm here to tell you I took a nap about 3 hours ago. Been working on a video and working on a video on blueberry snails with Chris Lukoff, getting all the places where he went and finding footage of Papua and the island of Papua New Guinea, and yeah, winds aloft. I should try it. Yeah, I've thought about it. Like all jokes aside, I have thought about well, maybe there is something if I went in, because it's just man, ever since my head injury did it initially for a year. I had a problem with it after my lightning and head injury, um, due to the bleed on the front of the brain and the back. But then after I got sick in Florida again, it just kind of has returned. And so I don't know what exactly is going on, but I don't know. I got all these doctor's appointments. I'll figure it out. But today, let's not worry about any of that. Let's just worry about whatever you guys want to talk about. The 186 Element, Jonas McGee, Frank Birkin, Silver Creek Aquatic, Silver Creek Wildlife. What's going on? Just Joe, Bambi, Jeff Kane is here, Linda's here, Winds Aloft, Artie, Nirvana Aquatics. Coro, thanks for taking that. Now go drink water. Thanks for being a member for 22 months, man. I really do appreciate it. Aqua Negro, what's up? Lumpy Dog, what's going on? Good to see you. And Mike Seidel, what's up? Is that Mike Seidel or Mike Seidel? Anyways, so what do I have going on? I have I don't know, 5 videos in the works. I've been having this problem lately where I can't start one video and then I don't want to edit it. I get there and I don't want to edit it. I really don't I mean, it's okay, but I'm in a hurry. Once I've got the information, I'm like, no, I don't want to search for images of whatever. I don't want to type text. I don't want to do transitions from how the thing from one screen to the next. I don't even want to record the video. I just want to chat with somebody and be like, hey, look what I researched and learned, and here's the info. And that's kind of how the channel used to be. But I do think that the channel has grown a lot and that it's more accessible when you add a lot of I don't know, eye candy, I guess. So I keep with it. But yeah. Silver Creek Wildlife says, I see your 22 months, Coro. Much love, Sir Alexander. Well, thank you very much. Another 22 months. You guys are I know it's probably been over that. Like, I don't know how long we've had the membership thing on, but I bet it's more than that because I think Kenny has like 40 or something, and Kenny E, that is. And I know you guys are like right up there. So thank you so very much. I mean, I can't. Whoa. And speaking of thank you, holy cannoli. Um, we got uh Fishery memberships given out by Coro. He's just making it rain memberships. Thank you, buddy. Really, that is very kind. All you new members, go to the community tab. There's new stuff for you there. And actually, um, oh, Cam, thank you so much. You like the video about my beta lineage, beta lineages? That one took me literally years. Um, yeah, that one literally I'd been working on for years. Because I just didn't have the right info, so I couldn't make it. So yeah, Coro, you are more than fine. No excuses, no explanation needed. Just thanks for being here. You don't even have to, you guys don't have to be members. It's appreciated, but you guys just being here, support, watch the damn videos. That's the moral of the story. But thank you. I remember Lumpy Dog. Yeah, you've been here forever too. Remember voice over chats while you're showing your aquarium. Little, yeah, there was a phase when I literally had moved houses in with my wife, and at the time, because I'd moved home to take care of my parents, my mom had a brain aneurysm. And so I moved home to take care of my parents a little bit in the time where my dad was not retired yet. And moved back with my mom. Then I met my wife and was kind of going between places. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to move in with her. But there weren't any aquariums allowed. So then I weaseled my way into one aquarium, and then I started the channel as I was getting really into the aquascaping and stuff. And that was almost 8 years ago now, I guess. It was like the end of summer ish. 8 year, like it will be 8 years, I believe. The first videos consistently, when I started consistently posting, was I think uh, September or October. Right after that, like after that, I was off to the races, and you guys couldn't shut me up. Um, Holy smokes! Yeah, there we go. 32 months from Nirvana Aquatics. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And 39, if you hadn't had if you hadn't had surgery. Yeah. Thank you so much, and I'm glad that the surgery went well, and you're here. Chronic Aquatic, what's up? Hello from Australia. Hello. Cat BO8, what's up? Yeah, I don't know. Did people like the form of live stream where I like wander around filming my fish room? Because I like doing those updates every once in a while, but I wasn't sure. Like, I'm not good at managing the chat when I do that because I'm walking around, I'm looking at what I'm doing, I'm trying to get you guys a stable picture and making sure the sound and the internet feed's good. So I'm kind of selfish when I do those. Whereas, like, if I'm sitting here, I can just chill and talk to you guys. So I mean, I'll try to switch it up. Maybe we can do a little bit of each. But yeah. Uh, oh, okay, cool, Jeff. You prefer it? It looks like people like those. Nirvana Aquatic says, I had my wisdom teeth yanked because my jaw was developing a hole. It was not cheap. No, that sounds awful. That sounds real awful. Yeah, that's rough. Jodes Australia, hello. Cave of Wonders, hello. Don't forget to check out all the members only Fishery videos. That's right. There are like 200 videos in the community tab if you got a free membership just now, or if you want to become a member for $1.99. Although Coro gave out memberships that technically are better than that. And so technically you guys get to see the posts that have gone out to the higher level members. And generally, I don't play favorites with my members in that, you know, I if I'm gonna tell you guys something, I'll tell all the member groups. But once in a while, I will put out something for like only the $10 members. Like if it's something like back in the day when Lowe's was selling Dragonstone for $2.99 a pound, and it was just called like landscaping rock, and you could buy it online by the 50-pound load, and they deliver it to your house too. That was a little thing that I let out to only certain level members, just because then somebody made a video about it on like open YouTube, and of course they ran out within like a week, and now they've never offered that again. um, that's right. You haven't lived until you had your wisdom teeth removed. Oh, without anesthesia. Yeah. I didn't have anesthesia when I had my wisdom teeth out. Well, I had local anesthetic. I had a no Novocaine Procaine. Is it $1.99 a month? It is $1.99 a month to get access to all 200 plus extra episodes. And like I said, I need to start doing more of that, because that might be the happy medium. The thing is that, like I just said, I don't like editing the videos as much. It takes so much time. It takes me like, 5 to 10 extra hours per video to edit a video and add in all this other stuff. And then, you know, by the time I'm done with it, I'm just so ready to be on to the next video. And a lot of times I will have started another video while I'm editing it. Like I will be researching something different by the time I'm working on it. And I overthink a video that's that planned. And so I kind of do miss the like, oh, I just read this fascinating article and I want to share it with you guys. But I don't have any like props. So maybe I will bring back the Fishery episodes and just put them in like members only posts. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Like, I'm just trying to figure out like a happy medium for all of us. Um, and also, like, when the channel gets there, if it ever does, I will gladly just hire someone to edit the videos. If I ever make more than like 3 grand a month, like I'll happily pay someone 1,500 or 2 grand to edit the videos. With sufficient coverage, white cloud adults will allow some fry to survive. Danios eat all of them, in my experience. Yeah, Danios are pretty rough on their fry. Yeah, they are. Uh, Definitely. Um, let's see here. L Fish, Henry Figueroa, what's up? Uh, who else snuck in here while I was on KM? Hello, first class fish. That's who came in. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, it's getting close to tubbing season too, guys. Dee Dee, what's up? How's Dee Dee's fish den doing? How's the channel? How's life? How's everything? How many blueberry snails can you keep per gallon compared to ramshorn snails? How much larger do they get? Can they coexist with ramshorn snails? And you know what? You're really gonna probably dig my new video. It goes over some of the. I mean, it doesn't go over how many could fit in a gallon, honestly, but we don't know exactly how long they live or anything like that. Um, we don't know how much. I mean, it's hard to say how much they make waste wise, but I think it's a lot less because they eat biofilm protein. They have a comb, and you'll see it in the video where you'll see their mouth has like rakes, like little combs, like little picks, rather than like a nearite snail that has the two like sharp beaks that kind of alternate sides and scrape algae. They have these like soft little bristles that pull out all the little microorganisms and all the like slime coat stuff that's on the side of the aquarium. So they don't so much, the blueberry snails don't seem to like actually eat the algae unless it just happens to come loose, and then they're eating some of it. But don't seem to eat plants much either. They'll eat like vegetative material, like fish food, and they'll eat like stuff that's kind of rotten. Plant wise, they haven't been going for any of the like if a fish passes away or anything in there, or a shrimp sheds or dies, they don't seem to go for that. They're kind of shy, and they burrow in the substrate, which is good in my opinion. I like snails that do that, but they don't do it all the time. They just do it like every couple of days. They'll just hide in the substrate for a few hours, and then they'll pop back out. I think they're just eating like stuff down there. They kind of like filter feed it through their mouth. They also have gill rakes and gills, so they are able to, like when you look at them under a microscope, the texture of their little denticles means that they almost look like a cat's tongue or something. So they're like scraping real soft stuff, and like whatever the size of the little things that are their tongue or their teeth or whatever, I don't know what you call that, their mouth. Um, it doesn't seem to be eating, like it doesn't seem to be good at tearing or ripping stuff at all. And because of that, I think that they're not eating things like meat. Whereas like a ram's horn snail, or even like a Malaysian trumpet snail, those things will eat dead fish. They'll eat fish food. They'll eat algae. They'll eat. I mean, they kind of eat a little bit of everything. And then there's like nearite snails, which will eat like spirulina. They'll eat cyanobacteria. They'll eat bacteria, and they'll eat um, fungi, and also algae, kind of just anything on surfaces. But they can scrape it off and eat all of it. Whereas these guys seem fairly specialized for biofilm. Like Bacter AE is their friend, that's for sure. Like them getting that amino acid and simple amino acid formation in the tank, and biofilm to form, I think is pretty crucial for them to be happy. Hey everyone, kind of depressed today. One of my nice Borneo loaches passed away. Ah, Slosser, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. That is rough. And Nirvana Aquatics, you have a wonderful dinner. I hope it's delicious. I haven't eaten all day. I need to get something in my belly. Um, my snail's hides open, even closes the trap. I think they breed below as well. Um, are they blueberry snails, Slosser? So the average size seems to be about like a grape, like maybe an inch. And then you can tell the females and males apart by their antenna. Um, and let's see here. Oh no, wins a lot. Father Fish is streaming right now too, huh? Why I oughta, like we talked about that. We talked about that. Um, but I appreciate you sticking with me. I mean, go do what you want. Go. If your friends are all jumping off a bridge, would you? Um, your friends are jumping off the bridge on this channel, so hang out here. That's why there's only 40 of us in here right now, or whatever it is. One of my eels got out of my tank and found. Oh yeah, sorry to hear that, Radio Flyer. Would you do another fish room tour of all your aquariums? I'd love to see an update. Yeah, sure. Right now, I'm just letting my phone fully charge. We can go do that in a minute here. Um, yeah, blueberry snails, yes, and orange spotted snails, same thing, but more orange than blue. They'll definitely, people will be selectively breeding these very soon, because they're very easy to breed. All you do is you put a male and a female together and you get babies. Once you put a male with a female, you get babies though forever. I think it's like guppies, is what I've picked up. Um, yeah. I wish more clubs did that, even for their own use or channels. Many clubs have their own have their own members speak, and others come through that give real nice talks. Yeah, I love when they share it too. Like that's the new generation. Uh, Your blueberry snails are distinctly blue-footed. Mine are more of like a purple chocolatey color. It depends on the pH, it depends on their diet, and it depends on like the TDS too. Because if they get high TDS, they will get like white plaques and like ridges, kind of like subtle ones on their shell. Whereas if they're in totally like kind of neutral to slightly alkaline water, they look kind of like a chocolate mahogany to purple or auburny red color as a shell, and then they have like blue, like dark navy blue to a dark purple base color of their flesh with like that electric orange or yellow color. But that stuff is dependent also on diet too, and if they've been eating like carotenoids, they'll get a lot more orange. Panda loach love, yeah, gotta love me the panda loaches, the babies, the babies. All your friends were jumping off a bridge, all of them sane, level-headed, ordinary, fear of heights people. What are the chances the bridge is on fire or something? Yeah, right. Yeah, if you trust your friends and they're not bridge jumpers and they're all jumping off a bridge, it probably is a good idea to jump off that bridge with them. I agree. How many snails do you keep a gallon? Yeah. I have them in a 2.5 gallon so that I can monitor them really well. They're in my one of my shrimp tanks. Most of them are. I've tossed a couple of the babies into the 40 breeders I have just to see how they do in different waters. If the water's under like 6.8 to 7, they die. They can't do it. Their shells need hard enough mineral water. They don't seem to be getting any bigger in the big tanks than in the little tanks, though, which is interesting. Like they're not like limited to size or whatever. So I think as long as they have food, they're going to grow the same and they're going to stay about that size. Um, but I mean, I don't know, they're fascinating little buggers. And I have 4 in a 2.5 gallon aquarium. They, like I said, they don't really poo a lot because the like they're not eating that algae all day kind of thing. They're eating the higher protein biofilm from what I can tell. Um, and then therefore they're when they go to the bathroom, it's like these little pellet to little like partial curlicues, whereas like other like ram's horn snails are constantly just like churning out the waste. So if you want to build mulm or whatever, like they're your best friends. um, Also, these guys, I haven't seen eat any live vegetation. I don't know if anybody else has noticed them doing that, but mine have not. Um, and I think it's down to that little mouth part. Just it couldn't tear like a leaf or something. Um, do you need a permit to breed endangered fish for conservation? It depends. So if it's in a CITES treaty, which is like a UN and world agreement on what should or should not be allowed, and like things like the arowanas, the Asian arowanas, those you do need, or paddlefish or something like that. You would need uh, a permit, and you can't even get one in the U.S. But if you're just breeding a fish that happens to be extinct in the wild, like a goodiid or the diamond tetra, for one that's really common, I mean, those are sold all over the place. They're all over the hobby, but they are extinct in the wild. I mean, endlers and guppies are, for the most part, they think extinct in the wild. There's a few pockets of them, but it's pretty suspect. Usually, when you talk to like specialists on the matter, they say that they've had other guppies reintroduced, like domestic guppies reintroduced back into the population in most of the spots where they're well known now. Still, um, yeah. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess that's true. They do eat algae wafers, like spirulina, which is like actually a cyanobacteria. So I think that is what also helps, because they're not seeming to eat like straight up algae, like cleaning the glass super well for me. They incidentally kind of leave a little cleared spot, but that's kind of it. Let's see here. La 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 la. La 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 la. You caught a piranha in one of your local lakes? Wow, man, what are the chances? Um, Chukuli for Schooly, what's up? How it going? Welcome. Fish Tank My Fish Tanks Aquatics. What up? Mel, what up? Okay, so we'll go do a walk around, but I know I sound like a broken record. I don't mean to be, guys. I just really want to buy fish and don't have no money to buy no fish. So what I do want to give a shout out to is I told my members this early. As soon as I got the info, I told the members. That's another benefit sometimes to being a member, I suppose. But there is a secret tab on Dan's Fish. And on Dan's Fish, there is a sale tab. And right now, which I've never really seen a sale, he's down, he marks things down from time to time, I guess. But never like really a sale page like this. And it's kind of hidden. It's under dansfish.com/products/on sale. You can see up at the top there. But some of these deals are pretty good, and they're fish that I've featured in recent times. I mean, $6.99 for Corydoras delphax. That's bonkers. They're like $14.99 at Aquarium Co-op right now. Black paradise gouramis. These are a fun fish, great for tubbing outside. Great barbs, great for tubbing outside. $6.99. That's a pretty. Oh, there's only one now. Wow, things are selling out quick. 6-barred gold cichlids, another great one. We'll be done with this soon, guys. I'm just gotta shout this out. These green line lizard tetras. These things are really really awesome. They move more like a goby, and they're kind of like jerky, twitchy, interesting little fish. I really like them. But what's really cool, yeah, Dan did send up an email the other day because they need to make room for fish. He doesn't really believe in sales because he doesn't want to pressure people into feeling like they need to buy a fish if they don't already have plans for a fish or the room for a fish. And so he just doesn't really like to do that, which I can respect. I kind of get it. Once he said it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But they've got these super red rosy barbs too. Pethias, which that genus in general, super hardy. I mean, they come from like the Himalayan foothills and then like the Western Ghat mountain foothills, India, and then over into Bangladesh, Myanmar mountains, Nepal. But they are, and Pakistan as well. But they're like super hardy. These are like a bred version from Europe, like a human selectively bred one. But they're another like great choice for outside tubbing. They'll probably handle 55 degrees Fahrenheit, no problem, and up. And then more, look at this, more of these. I couldn't believe it when I saw these. I was like, what? Down from $20 to $12.99? And this is when I was like, okay, maybe I do need to get out my money. Same with these, the blue bleeding tetras. These guys are very, very beautiful when they're in like a black water tank or tannins. They've got this blue like laser bolt, and it turns to purple and red in the tail. They're like a black neon tetra on, and the hemigrammus orange, another one. I've got these right now. They're a nice Tetra as well. They don't look like this usually, that's for sure. Let's take a look real quick at what they do look like. These ones don't even have like a name yet, but they are kind of flooding the hobby, I've noticed. So yeah, here's a way better. Let me pop over and show you pop-up video. Pop 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 da. Hey guys. Hey everybody. Hey everybody. It's the Big Bopper speaking. Why is it not? Why won't this thing work? There we go. That should work now. Here we go. There. So you guys saw what they were looking like on his website. This is what mine look like. They're really bright. They're pretty shy though right now, I must say. This is a normal one, right? The normal ones you'd see in the hobby. That is what the red tail and ones look like. And then if we go, what? How did I lose track of that? This okay, here we go. So this is what they actually look like. They got this beautiful gold and orange color and then a yellow and then like metallic gold in the eye and face and then they've got the red there. They're just a cool little Tetra. If you're into aquascaping, they're definitely a beautiful choice that I I respect. All right, hold on. So present, present, present. We're almost done here, and then we'll go walk around. So, the cool thing about his sale also is you can use my code. So, if you guys haven't bought anything yet, um, you guys can also um, get the discount, the 10% discount for first time. If you are returning, yes, you will still, I guess, using my code or whatever, I think is still technically it ingratiates me to Dan. But um they are how do I say this? Uh if you have someone else in your household who hasn't ordered yet, or you didn't get to take advantage of the first time buyer price because you've already bought stuff from Dancers, but you want to get my discount, you have to register a new email. That's the bottom line. So each email that's registered gets that discount once, and then thereafter, that's how it's tracked. So you could, in theory, you could be a terrible person and use it over and over and over. But if you never got it and you want to get it and you feel like, I want that 10%, um, that's the way to do it. So the hip kids say. But there's also these we will be looking at in a moment. I have them right now in my tank. They are incredible. That's not the best picture. I mean, it's fine, but you'll see probably when we feed them, they'll look even better. Lots of different melanotanias in here. This one also colors up real nicely, kind of like a olive green and blue, and then the red in the fins. Some of this stuff's real new species wise, collection point wise. Some of them are also smaller than the norm, but you can get something like a grumpy, sharp-tailed goby. Look at that guy. Instead of $30, it's $20 and get you 10% off. It's basically covering your tax or maybe some of your shipping, and everybody's happy, right? But look at this, more stuff that was $29.99. Now it is $19.99. Look at these. These are stunners. I'm thinking about getting some of these too. you guys can tell me what you think I should put in the new tank. But also whiptail. These guys are on a good sale. Cowboy whiptail catfish, 79. They were $80. Now they're 59.99. There's only two left. Yeah, I was gonna say they were like 30 the other day. Orange seam fleckos. Holy smokes. Yeah, there were a lot of those too, and those are, yeah, so stuff's going quick, but check it out. Stuff's marked down. That's my spiel. I'm coming back to you guys now. I saw you coming back to me. He's always got cool fish. I always want to get some of those. I always want gobies. I miss my Stiphodon tank. In fact, I'm trying to figure out. So I have a tank that's a 65 gallon that I'm going to set up, and I think it's going to be a big community nano tank kind of thing. And I was like, I'm going to be different. I'm going to do a tank that's just African tetras. And then I realized I cannot possibly afford that. The tetras out of Africa are like $60 a piece. No, Stiphodons are fresh water. Their babies are brackish, so you can't spawn them in fresh water. Yeah, he's got some nice rams right now too. He got a hold of the rams that I was talking about during his stream, maybe like 4 weeks ago. I was like, "Hey, is it possible to get a hold of the koi or the red cap, like ranchu looking ones?" And he's like, "I don't know about those ones." And he like looked them up live on the stream, and he's like, "Those are cool. I don't know. I'll see if I can get them." And then apparently they were available, and so he ordered like a good, like, I don't know, 60 of them or something, 50 of them. Uh, so they're kind of cool. They're like, they look like I don't know how you. I mean, they look plain compared to an electric blue or something, but they've just got like a nice red face and like kind of like a gold to white body is the idea behind them. So they kind of look like little goldfish or something. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Um, Too much green nonsense. I leave you. What is green nonsense? Do you dose potassium on the regular? Yes. Potassium is one of the few things that I do dose very, very commonly. That is what I find is lacking a lot of times in the aquariums that I keep. I have very soft water, and the food I feed doesn't necessarily have a lot of potassium. Um, so potassium is one of the few supplements I do seem to use. If I'm using liquid fertilizers or root tabs or whatnot, usually potassium and then sometimes a little bit of nitrates are what I'll add. A lot of my tanks run at 0 nitrates, and they need like 10 parts per million more optimally for the plant's sake. So potassium K, yeah, exactly, potassium K. Got to bolt. Have a great night, folks. All right, Lumpy Dog, take care. Take care. Green names. Maybe members, yeah, there are a lot of green names in here. I really do appreciate that. You live in Europe. Well, Mish, uh Mish, you can buy a lot, or is it Mish or Mish or Mitch? uh you can buy from like Aquarium Glosser, or Runimans, or what's the other one? In the UK, Maiden's Head Aquatics, I think. You guys get cool stuff over there. But I use, sorry about that. I need to put the pop filter on or just step back. Just chill out, Alex. Chill out. Um, 3G, what's up? Twin Cities Oxygen. Hello. I wasn't even asking advice about cycling, just wanted to stock with the wait, what? Asked for advice for my daughter's first aquarium and got told off because it seems everyone has opinion on the proper way to start a cycle. Oh, in Reddit? Uh, yeah. Reddit's not the nicest place usually. Nor is Facebook can be pretty toxic too. We have a good Facebook group on my for this channel on my group. Couple really active folks on there too. But yeah, those places are rough. Hopefully the comments here never get rough. I haven't really seen anybody chiding anyone else for like basic stuff like that. There isn't a right way to cycle a tank. You can put in a fish and torture it a little bit. I mean, like a guppy or a Daniel will probably survive you cycling a tank with it in it, especially if it's anything over 10 or 15 gallons. You'll probably get away with doing that. Whether you want to have plants in it, whether you want to introduce stuff from a lake nearby, like that's other layers of stuff that I have opinions about. Um, it's not right or wrong necessarily, but you just understand like what you're doing when you do it. Don't just do it to do it. Is my advice is learn why you would be doing that. Like some cycles have you add ammonia because you're feeding like bacteria that you bought in a bottle to add. To me, I don't want to do all that. I don't want to unless I'm doing an event where I'm like trying to aquascape and make a tank all chill and ready to go for like that day and I need it like cycled that day. I don't like use those liquid bacteria bottles. I try to use a healthy tank that exists in my care and then I'll put the filter media in whatever filter media container I'm using. So I hang off the back or a canister or a sponge filter, or I'll put a sponge, wrap it around an air stone, and just plop that in the new tank. That's how I do it. And then I wait 2 or 3 days. Usually, bing, bada, boom, it's totally fine. Sometimes it's fine that day. Um, you just don't want to overwhelm a newly stocked tank is the other thing. Like you don't want to put in big meat eating fish or fish that are like big beefy fish, like a full grown Oscar or big angelfish in a group of 7 or something. That's where your ammonia is going to build up real quick and your bacteria may not be able to handle it. But if you've got a planted tank, you got like plants in there that are feeding from the water column, that are feeding from their roots. You've got water cycling and moving around. You probably can do what you want. Now, if you're gonna try to do the like resurrection jar father fish like thing that's been popular lately, my main suggestion is just that you be prepared for parasites. Where we live and where our fish are from are rarely the same thing. You probably don't live in the Amazon if you're on this chat. And you might be introducing leeches or nematodes or parasites. And I suggest if you're going to introduce stuff from like a creek or something, maybe the water itself isn't that big of a deal. If you get it from like a flowing creek or something and you've already got a tank set up, it's cycled, and then you want to enrich that tank, I would suggest bringing a jar in to the house at temperature, aerating it like your tank is aerated. So if the water in your tank's moving, then make it move and um, just let it chill for a week or two and make sure nothing hatches out of there like larva or whatever. I wouldn't throw a bunch of algae and like leaf litter and stuff in there personally, but I know that fatherfish and other people do that. Personally, I just don't want the random issues that come with that in theory. Parasites are very real trouble, and there's a short by Fatherfish going around that says parasites can't be a problem in the wild because everything keeps everything in check. And there's some truth to that. Um, but that parasites very frequently kill and devastate populations of fish. Um, in fact, it'll be the tipping point to take out fish sometimes. So, and same with like nitrates. He doesn't mind nitrates, and no, they're probably not going to be the direct cause of death in your fish, but they are another stressor that's shown, if you watch my video on the subject, to release cortisols and to cause immune health issues and birth defects and abnormalities in the formation of the spine and the neurological system of little fish. So, um, rainwater, I'm totally great with rainwater. You may just want to double check that like the pH hasn't dropped out. Like if it's super, there's nothing in the rainwater, obviously. If the TDS is 0 and you're letting it sit there, you can have the water can the pH can drop out of the bottom pretty quick. Some rain though does have, you know, dust and silt and other particles in them and whatnot, and will stay more neutral. So I just say know what you're putting in. So if it's acidic water, you know, you'll know not to pour that into a Lake Tanganyikan tank, you know. But if you're putting it into a tank full of tetras, then maybe it's no big deal, you know. Um, but you can just, yes, you can just add a little bit of crushed coral and buffer that water, no problem. Even like crushed eggshells or boiled eggshells will work. Um, so yeah. All right, guys. Well, somebody said they wanted a tour. Yeah, I agree. First class fish. As much as we would like our tanks to be nature, they will never mimic nature 100%. Yeah, we just don't have the size. We don't have the diversity. And if we, you know, think about how many Daphnia it takes to feed one fish. You need like 40 gallons of water that is in optimal productive mode to keep one, like, not even like a big fish. I mean, let's say a gourami or something, or a betta. You probably need 20 to 40 gallons of production of Daphnia at all times going just to feed that one fish. And so the scale just doesn't super work. Um, that's awesome, Stan. Yeah, if you live on a really clean source of water and you know it, you've used it, then that's great. Use that, cycle with that. If it's got everything that you need, that is awesome. And some people are fortunate enough to be on a well or something where that works out that way too. I just think that it can be it can be problematic if you're not careful. Um, so, all right, let's let's fire it up. I don't know that my aquarium's lights are all on right now. I think in the middle of the day I turned them off because the fish room was warm. Warm, warm. Okay, let me get out of this. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Let me get out of this. I gotta get away, get away. Do you consider eggs to be live food? Yeah, they eat a lot of their own eggs. You know, I think that's an actual very underrated source of food in our aquariums. There are a lot of little critters that lay eggs in your community tanks, and then the other critters eat them. And I think that that is 100% a valid food source, and that, yeah, I think that's where a lot of the eggs go. I think baby newly hatched fry are a great live food source, and I think that's another place that a lot of them end up in their bellies. Okay, let's get this going. So let me try to mute all of this so we don't get feedback. All right, can you guys, Papa, can you hear me? So here's my big lazy tank that I've done no cuttings on. There is some algae on the glass. I probably should get a couple more neorites or auto sinkless. But last night, if you guys are friends with me on Facebook, or maybe I posted it on, never mind, I did post it on YouTube also. This thing is a jungle. And right now, that's a baby phantom, black phantom that has been born in here. You can see there's baby pencil fish in here. Literally, the tetras are spawning in this tank. There's no big fish in this tank anymore. It's all like dense vegetated fish that are in here. And this back section is just thick. And I think the babies are just growing out in there. I've got hydrocotyle that I'm still playing with. I've been flowering it, and I've got this red variety that I've never seen before. I just haven't seen it grow red like that. So I'm kind of curious. We're crossing basically the very round type of hydrocotyle japonica with the verticillata that gets the little fluffy margins. And so yeah, working on that. And in here, again, we've got a couple existing plants that are kind of cool, which are the Colorado crossed with the Salzmani bacopa. So you get this kind of purple pinky plant, which is kind of neat rather than just the greens. Like some of the bacopas are just green, like over here, whereas the other ones you get the reds, and the Salzmani are like a deep red. This was a local plant. I don't know what it is, but I like it. It's kind of red. It grows kind of irregularly. It's back in there too, like right here. And then we've got the kabamba, the normal kabamba, and then we've got the beautiful kabamba frittata with the red and rainbow colors in it. Right now, for some reason, my plants think it's nighttime. They're confused. This is Logonandra carolensis here, I believe. Wait, is it me bullseye or Carolyn? It's me, carolensis. This is just a big carolensis. And it's kind of gotten beat up, but these leaves last a long time, and then they get these little silver iridophores on them. And so yeah, I've got another little pump in here that's kind of just keeping the water moving, keeping the temperature even. I've got that big heater that's a Hydra heater in here, this big brick heater that's 500 watts for this 50-gallon system. But that way, if the room is literally 60 degrees, the fish aren't going to get too cold. So let's put some food in, and you'll see like all these fish appear. Also, I have a giant betta in here. A gal who watched a viewer of the channel sent me 4 giant bettas a while back, and I've been growing those out in various tanks. And I like this aquarium co-op fry food, honestly. So it is like the first ingredient is crushed up salmon. It's salmon meal. But here you'll see the orange hemigrammus, and then you'll see my favorite right now. These guys, oh, it's not showing up on the camera very well. There's the orange hemigrammus without the red tail, the normal variety. And then you've got these guys, which are the melanostichos. Check out my pictures on the community tab, and they are insane. They color up, and the blue is so bright. When you get a flicker of it across the room, you're like, what was that? Like, you literally you see it like a reflection off like a CD back in the day. Yeah, here, let's see if we can catch any of that color. The guys with the stripes, and then they've got beautiful red and orange on their tail. See, they're coloring up right now as they're feeding. Super cool. ABC Biotopes, what's up? Member for 20 months. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, bro. Also, you can see my friendly betta, the giant betta here. Still doesn't have a name,
but they like pets, which is kind of funny. I'm not going to mess up their slime coat, so I just kind of boop their head. But that's the giant betta of the group. And then we've got in here, believe it or not, there. See the headstanders coming out. So those headstanders, that was a really popular fish back in the day. We got the hemigrammus, which are the little orange guys, and with the red eyes, and some of them have red tails, some of them don't. And then we've got the melanostichos, or the lapis tetras that have the black line. And I wish you guys could see it better. Like the colors are really incredible on them, but they're not showing super well. And then we've got the, like, see this guy, did he come back? Come back. Yeah, this guy's got like blood red and orange in his tail. That guy who's kind of coming and going, but you just it's a weird thing because it's all I think it's all iridophores. So it's none of it is a true pigment. It's all like just the angle you see the fish, little crystals underneath their skin that cause them to reflect iridescent colors. Like, so they'll look blue, like they're glowing blue, and then they turn an angle and they're glowing orange. It's really wild. And we got the black phantom tetras that are spawning in here pretty well. And then we've got also the rummy nose and more black phantoms down here. Also the headstanders, they start to click and make noise when they eat, which sometimes you can hear, but right now they're not doing it very loud. The melanostichos, though, there's one right there with his tail's really red right now. But when he goes back, you don't see it. But when he comes forward, you can kind of see the orange and red. So they're a super fun fish. They're still not crazy expensive. But I think, yeah, in sunlight, you're exactly right. They look incredible. So this is another really kind of funky tank. We're going to give them an abundance of food. Give them just that dust of food. But in here we've got the loach, the Hillstream loaches with the colored tails. This is one of the blue and gold ones. Then we've got the Borneo catfish. And then we've got one that's really hungry apparently. And then we've got all the danios, the tin winnie danios that are in here, which I should put aside and spawn because I think I have 9 or 10 in here and I want more. They look so cool in a big group. This guy's getting feisty because he can taste in the water, and he's got a blue metallic tail there, you can see. And then we have quite a bit of fry in here at the moment from these blonde guppies. They're like a fork tail, or I don't know what you'd call the tail necessarily. They're kind of a spade tail, but it's starting to fork. Like a double blue sword kind of, but they're not true swords. But they're blonde, and they're all blonde. No other genes other than blonde. No albino. So yeah. And the tin winnies, when they get excited, super hard to see on here, but the females turn gold. They're the big fat ones. And the males are like a little skinnier and have bigger fins. Like that one, well, it's going to be hard to point out. Most of these coming up close are females. There's a male right up close right here. The males have like a purple to auburn color in their reflective coloration. And then the females are like gold to brass colored. And then we got the big old betta here. He's not very he's a grumpy fish. He doesn't like being touched. He doesn't like interacting. He's usually buried somewhere in the back. I don't know what his deal is. But yeah, so the tin winnies are in here. Now, I also have another fish in here that I want to do a special video on. I've been working on it right there. That's a Medaka. You see that fish right there in the center? It's the size of guppy fry, and it's fully grown. This is a new species of Medaka. I don't think they have the name right. So they're calling it the Mekong Medaka. And I don't think they are that. I think the Mekong Medaka are another species that's recognized and looks like that, but it gets 1.5 inches. These ones are very different, and the males, if we can find a male, where is a male? The males get a blue to like a turquoise color from their side and belly. Here comes one right here. So there's one back up in here, and he's coming up to the front right here. So they get this like bluish turquoise kind of powder blue color. It's hard. It's gonna be like impossible to see on a live stream, I think. But right there, this guy that's scooting along the front, he's as big as they get. I mean, look at him compared to my pinky. He's not even as wide as he's not even as long as my pinky is wide. And there are about, I don't know, 10 of them in here. I mean, you could keep so many. This is a 20-gallon, not even 20-gallon. You could keep so many of those in a small space. It's wild. And then I've also got and this water's fairly acidic actually. So then we've got one bluegrass guppy in here that he's actually a Hawaiian bluegrass guppy, like a combo. Oh, look at the blue on the Hillstream loach right there. There's the adult Hillstream loach in the tank that I've had for like 8 months now. You can see yellow and blue on that fin, really cool. So I leave them some algae to work through too, because they like hard biofilm, but they also like algae. And there's a couple more of them that are like mid-age, and then there's a young one right here that I've had for like 2 or 3 months. But this guy's grown really quick. And then there's also the red tail loaches, who are much more shy. So instead of having dots as their main pattern, they have a maze-like pattern. And they're usually in the back of the tank where I put in catappa leaves. They're usually hanging out on the catappa leaves and like feeding on the biofilm in the catappa leaves. Now, other than that, there's also a bunch in here, and it's kind of frustrating when you can't see them. So let's see if we can scoot some forward. Of the Andouzi pencilfish, and that is the smallest pencilfish. I'm going to need to do something with these guppies here soon because there's just too many. Go figure. And the Andouzi pencilfish have a red tail that is beautiful on the males. The females are pretty nondescript and hard to even spot. Like, see, there's some of the Medaka together back there. There's like 4 of them together back there. So those are some new species of Medaka that's just not well documented. They're calling them the Mekong Delta Medaka. That's clearly not what they are. That's already a described species that gets 1.5 inches. And these I've had, some of them I've had a year now. So, well, I was going to show you the Andouzi pencilfish, but I'm not even seeing them. They're really shy, and so that is a challenge. And sometimes in these tanks where you got so many plants, they feel at home, but they want to be like way down in the tangle of the plants. They're so scared of everything and light. They don't like light either, which is kind of unusual for a pencilfish. Okay, I see one of the Andouzi pencilfish. Here we go. He's coming out. There's a male too. So you'll see him behind that snail, maybe. If he doesn't turn around. I think he turned around. Behind that snail, there is a pencilfish down in here. We see him through the bushes. But they are really exquisite. I love them. I want to breed them. I'm just growing them out in here. I got them when they're kind of small, and they stay small. Okay, there's another pencilfish over here. Let's see if we can get him on film. All right, I'll just scare him this way. All right, come on, buddy. So many little guppy fry. All right, so if we build him a little barrier here where we kind of put this floating stuff in the way, the pencilfish might come out because they're just so shy, like I said. But if they feel safe, like secure, like a fish can't ambush them, they'll kind of come into the space. Seems to enjoy meat more than my other Borneos as well. Interesting. Where'd it go? Like it was just chilling. The Tinwinnies are coming in. They're so curious. They're like one of the most curious Danios I've ever had. Some Danios are just kind of dumb. The domestic ones, I think, are just kind of dumb. I don't think they process much in their little brains. I think it's just like food, not food. Oh, here we go, right here. Here's one of those pencils. And of course, he was off like a ghost in the night. Nor are our red tail loaches showing up on cue either. So I don't know. I don't know why they're scared. Something's scaring them too. There's a nice. You can kind of see the bluish hue, greenish bluish hue on the Mekong Medaka there. That's a wild Medaka. I don't know. We might just give up on the Anduzi pencilfish. They have a red tail and some red fins, and then the rest of their body's silver. They're very, very delicate. 1/2 inch to an inch, fully grown. Very small. But I like them. This is kind of my micro or nano tank. Anyways, so that's what's going on in there. Let's move on. There are so many Borneo loaches. There are so many. Alex, if you weren't so mean to your fish, they wouldn't be so shy, right? I know I am a jerk to my fish. I'm like, you suck. I hate you. You are gonna fail college and you're bad. So here's all my Cali Tawas. They're just doing their thing. They're still young. I put them in the once upon a time it was a lake inlay tank. And there's 9 of them in here. It's in the 20 long. Remember how this was super overgrown with everything? Well, I got almost all of it out plant-wise. And I've had this super weak crap light on the tank for quite some time now. This Current light, like that's the brand Current. And yet my grass is still growing 8 months later. I still have a carpet of hair grass. But what it's done is it's pulled up and out of the substrate somewhat. And it's also full of snail poo because the snails have just been kind of having free reign, which I'm trying to alleviate that. There's some gouramis in here too, some powder blue gouramis. And then there's the Kalitawas, which you can actually see them right now. They're getting a little bit of color. The males have red in their tail and then black and silver bodies, and they only get about this big, which is kind of cool. They're one of the kind of dwarf rainbow fish, if you will. But there are also shrimp in here, and I'm not even really seeing a whole lot of them. They're usually like right up in the grass, but I did just trim the grass. So, there's one right there. There's a shrimp right in there. Just my Malawa shrimp, by the way. And then these guys are gonna go zooming all over, eating as much as I feed them. Basically, they love this fish meal from Aquarium Co-op. It's the fry food, is what it is. Okay, so then wow, this guy's colored up for the lights have been off. These pencil fish have been pairing off in here. And totally, I mean, they're ready to go spawning wise. And yeah, hold on. Let me turn the light on here. Turning on the lights. Turning on the lights. Turning on the lights. Nobody up here really has lights until nighttime, because I like working with these at night. But we've got bettas in all these tanks, all of them. Except, wait, does this one have betta? No, this one doesn't have a betta. This one has the glass guppies that have a translucent belly, which I might make a whole video on. Those were bred for genetics and lab research, but they have literally a belly where you can see all the babies developing. Then I've got my blue dreams, my green emerald, what do you call them? Green emerald, neocaridina, some maluas, and then back there we got some cories and a cory breeding tank for panda cories. In here we've got all my yellow neocaridina, and you can see here is one of the blueberry snails doing his thing. And actually, is this blueberry snail buried? Oh no, that's one of the other ones. Then we got these little red antler snails I got from Aquatic Arts. Aquatic Arts is always bringing in interesting snails. And then we got the big cappuccino snail. But what happened, and I talk about this in the new video, is this is an operculum. I hate these tweezers, but they're the softest ones I have. That's the trap door for one of these snails, for the blueberry snails. I was keeping them at 6.8 or 6.9 pH, and all the babies they had at that hardness didn't make it. Now, also, one of them lost their trap door. And apparently they can do that and survive, but it's not so great for them, because then anything like a scud or planaria can get into their shell and attack them, and they don't really have a defense against it. But yeah, here we've got the little blueberry snails, and let's see if we can turn him around for you guys. He'll probably close. Oh, yep, they close up really quick, but you can see the yellow spots, and his operculum is intact. He's all good. He'll probably open up in a sec. He looked like he was pretty active in his grazing, so yep, he's opening back up. But this is what the video coming out tomorrow morning is about, which is this brand new snails to the hobby that gives live birth to a perfectly formed little mini version of themselves, which is super cute. And it's also super nice in that you're not going to get like a runaway population issue with this snail. Whereas like Malaysian trumpet snails, man, they go crazy. They're crazy snails. They're crazy snails. But I'm looking for, there is one of their babies that didn't make it. Should be, I had it in the front of the tank as an example yesterday. Oh, here we go. Right in here. This is one of the little snail shells that didn't make it. So they're this size when they're born. So like about the size of a BB. And then you can see that the Axelrodi, Daniel, they're doing good. They're chilling. I just fed these guys last night. This tank astounds me. There is nothing going on here other than this $12 shop light. Other than that, and Brightwell soil and some plants. I mean, there's a whole video on it and everything, but that's all that's going on here, and everybody's doing well. I've just been feeding them shrimp and beef products, which keep the nitrates real low because it's all like real organic plant-based material, nothing high protein or no high phosphates that encourage like crazy algae. And then I've got snails in here, and that's about it. There's actually planaria in here at the moment, and I could nuke them all with no planaria, but I don't really worry about it because they kind of keep each other in check. So then we've got these guys who are spawning, which is great. They're really beautiful right now. The red arc pencilfish. They're all colored up. and ready to go. Last night I got some photos of them. At around 1 in the morning, I turned the light on because I saw that they were moving in the tank in almost pitch black. And they were strutting their stuff. So it must have been that they could see a little bit in the UV or blue light. Chat B, what's up? Designs, what's up? Alex, what's the dimension of my 20 long? Mine's 30, 30, 1. Yeah, that's correct. That's same with mine. So then the other thing in here that Dot's Aquarium wanted me to write about is these guys, the hovering loaches. Of course, now they hide. There are 14 of them in here now. There's also a lake inlay loach that's huge, way bigger than any of the other ones I've seen. At my local aquarium store, they've been keeping them for a couple years and just seeing how big they can get them and stuff. And the answer is like 2 inches, 2.5 inches. Mine's like 4.5 inches. She is massive, just a female. And then these are hovering loaches. Love them, hovering zebra loaches. They eat planaria for sport. Like they love planaria, these little guys. So they've been breeding. The only way I can tell you they're breeding is they're in the Sawasser tank. They eat small snails, like right when they're born, like this size. They'll also eat snails, probably because they are loaches. Here's a female here. Female with the rounded belly. Males have more of a torpedo shape, and then their face is more of mousy, more kind of curved down. There's that big loach back there. She's coming up to eat. Yeah. Oh wait, no, that's the male. The female will come, I'm sure. But yeah, that's a lake inlay red-tailed loach that we're seeing right here. And then there's another zebra loach. So like I said, there's 14 zebra loaches. There's a rosy loach. There's 4 zebra loach or 4 rosy loaches in here. This is kind of what's left of my lake inlay tank to some degree. Here comes a big gravid female loach. She's ready to have babies. See her belly. And that little male behind her, he is probably about as big as the males get and will probably be her suitor. They kind of hang out together. Here's another female. And I've noticed that the females kind of pick one male and they're like, you're the lucky dude. And so like that male right there is probably the lucky dude who's getting all 3 of the females that are feeding right here. Let's see here. Sorry guys, let me get to where. Yeah. Oh, and there's also a hummingbird tetra in here too. There's a few of them. So this tank's pretty full. Again, I need to just throw out the Pogostemon octopus. There's a lot of in here. There's some yellow shrimp in here. Or the Potamogeton gayi, there's a lot of in here. The guppy grass or nausea grass, as well as the Sawasser tang has just grown insane. So I don't know. I don't want to just throw it away. Here's the blueberry snail again. He's waking up. Yes, I have tried splash tetras. I have not tried all of them by any means. I've tried the 4 spot and the 3 spots. And then down here, let's give these guys some food. This tank needs some love. So I'm kind of remodeling this tank as we speak. I did what I don't usually ever do, which is I vacuumed up most of the mulm in the tank. These are Matei tetras, and they are called purple neon tetras, which is a dumb name because they're always blue or green. They never are purple. Every collection I've seen, they're never what they say color-wise. They're never purple. Maybe they are in the wild, but they are not here. And then we've got checkerboard loach or checkerboard cichlids here. And we've got the red phantom and serpe tetras chilling. And then we've also got Habrosus corridoras in here and a few gold laser corridoras. Here comes the gold lasers. They're still young. But I want to get them in a better setup because I'd like to breed these gold lasers. I've got, I think, 6 of them in there right now. You guys want to see something real weird? I'm thinking about doing a whole video on these. Which is my Weirdo loach tank. This is a weird tank. There's a lot of blue dream shrimp. In fact, there's a buried blue dream shrimp right there. But there's a bunch of blue dream shrimp in here. There is a betta in here, a giant betta at that. And there are coolie loaches that I caught in Lake Washington. Let's put some food in for them. Just a dusting. But the Sawasser tang is kind of the secret to this tank even working at all, in that anybody feeling pestered can go hide, whether it's the shrimp or whatever. I got these when they were less than an inch long, some of them, and they're really fascinating to watch. Watch as the food starts coming down. The shrimp are going to start noticing it and eating, and then the loaches are going to start poking their heads up like prairie dogs in a minute here. And you'll start seeing the surface of this Sawasser tang writhing as they get ready to shoot up to the surface and grab some food and then come back down. There's loaches in the back there that are poking their head up. There's one right here. There's another one right here that just took a nosedive. But here they come, the loaches, and there are a lot in here still. There's like, I don't know, 12 in here. So they're going to need a new home real soon. But look at, they're all smelling it. They're all seeing what's going on. And they're like, I want some. I don't know what's going on, but I want some. As that stuff's just slowly drifting down. And generally, these loaches would eat shrimp. I don't know why they're not. Generally, the betta would eat these little shrimp, at least the young ones. But it's not. So I don't know what's going on with that. Don't ask me. This tank has kind of been in transition for a long time because it was just a place where I put her. It was where my Malawa mother tank colony was, and that crashed. I don't exactly know why, but I think the water got too alkaline or something, and literally planaria and these little snails took over. When the shrimp all died, the Malaysian trumpet snails went buck wild. The lights have been off, so they're all out. But now in here, I've got some earth eaters, some Siamese algae eaters that outgrew their other tanks, and some big cories, some cory delphax that got like 3 inches long, and then this giant angelfish that kills everyone. So because he kills everyone, he's in with the humped-headed earth eater and the Siamese algae eaters, reticulatus ones. Look at here comes the dojo loaches actually eating from the top. Okay, so that's going on. The hovering loaches are all out, strutting their stuff now. The blueberry snail looks to have given up and is moving somewhere else. I don't know where. And then, so those guys are good to go. You know, I should show you guys too. So this is what the ceiling should look like. By the way, here's those Calitawas. Let's see if they colored up anymore. This light is so lame. It's so bad. And there's a green painting behind everything, which is not the right color for these guys. They need black or white, but black would be best. Because they've got like a slight blue hue. Yeah, they're not really coloring up much right now. So I think I want to get them a little power head in here. Maybe that'll make them feel better. See that little male? He's got some color, but anyways, so the roof, like I was talking about, it's all jacked up. So we fixed the exterior roof and we found the leak, and that is the damage that's done to the drywall up there. So now we have to rip out that drywall. And there's like warping up on the ceiling up here that's old plaster. You have to rip that out too. The whole thing is just a nightmare. I don't know exactly how we're going to tackle it with the current situation going on the way it is, but I guess we'll figure it out eventually. So then let me show you guys another one of my favorites right now. Ugh. Come on. Stop it. Stop it, extension cord. So we've got the rainbow tank down here. Literally just scraped this 2 days ago. So this is going through growing pains. I introduced something that I don't normally do. I got wood from outside that had been sitting outside and had algae on it out in the rain in Seattle. And let's bring this loach over here. Come back, buddy. I love this saddled loach. He's super cool. But the rainbow fish, they're fun. They're cool. They're colorful. They're doing good. But the algae, man, it has literally this red brown algae has just come out of nowhere, and it's just coating all the plants. The wood was thick in it, so I treated it with hydrogen peroxide. We'll toss the wood back in, see what happens. But even like, look at this. This happened in less than a week. The coverage of this algae is wild. I don't think it's cyano. I think it is algae. The nitrates are almost zero in this tank. But the thing is, there's just no other algae to compete. There's no other biofilms to compete. And I had a nice aquascape in here that I was happy with. And then I'm the dum-dum, and I bought an eel and a tiger loach. Never had a tiger loach. Didn't know that they remodel every day. Look at this. I had everything the way I wanted it with hair grass, and the color was, we had changed it to black of the substrate. And this little bugger in here, here's the eel. Whoa, he just shot out of there. And then the tiger loach is also in here. But the eel and the tiger loach sounds like a proverb. The eel and the tiger loach, they are huge mess makers, and they kicked up the TDS and caused a spike in TDS and pH because they took all the crushed coral out of my lasagna method, and literally they just dug a hole all the way to the bottom. I mean, they're even like moved the lava rock out of the way over here. They're quite the active little buggers. And they make these little forts, and then they just stick their nose out of the fort like here and just wait for anything that the other fish miss. And that's their go-to survival method. But other than that, I think the rainbow fish are happy. Jason Liang, who's another fish keeper in the area who kept rainbow fish. Yeah, look at that. There's the actual lava rock that was at the very bottom of the substrate and everything. It's like exposed by the silly peacock eel. And it's a dwarf peacock eel. I never get to see anything but his nose and mouth. And then the other one, the tiger loach, I do get to see at night. And I'll have to tell you guys more about him later because he is kind of special. But so these guys I got from Jason Liang, the blue one, the Ave Creek Bosemani, this little guy here. that's at the bottom of the tong. And then the Lake Ikimbo, blue, beautiful. And then this one up here, which is an upper tour. Oh, what was he called? I'll have to check my notes. But this was the other one that I got. So that guy, he had been in the hobby for years, and unfortunately, he got out of the hobby and had to sell all his fish in like a hurry. And he just got out of town, didn't label anything. And so I was looking at these grayish white rainbow fish and just like, I don't know what's what. And so I bought 6 of them that looked like I got some of the same species. And then I just kind of crossed my fingers and brought them home and figured, I don't know what I'm going to do. But in here, we've got metallic livebearers, a endangered little livebearer, but a cool one from Costa Rica. And then likewise, while it's raining on them, that was probably too much food. A little clump of the food got in here. But here you got the black chin metallic livebearers. They're really fun to watch. They pester the females nonstop. And then you got the pygmy swordtails that have no sword tail, but they're called pygmy swordtails. There's Zophophorus pygmaeus. The males have a little bit of yellow on them, like kind of a gold in the tail and in the face. And yeah, then we've got the beta Malak over here. His female recently died. I don't know if he killed her or what, but I was looking at my YouTube videos and at my my metrics online or on Facebook, and I realized that they're 2 years old. So I don't know how long these live. I guess there's a chance that the female just died of old age. I got her as an adult from Lawrence Kent. Goose, not Maverick. What's up? But anyways, this is the beta Malak, and a beta I want to say consortus. Is that right? Beta, whatever. I can't remember. Brain's foggy. Then we've got these absolutely like ready to pop. Some of these females. Look at that one. If you didn't know Beckford pencilfish, you would think that is dropsy or bloat or something like that. It's not. She's just going to have literally like 150 eggs or 200 eggs. Beckford pencilfish, easiest pencilfish to breed. Easiest fish to breed that I've... Probably one of the easiest egg scatterers to breed out there. Then we got the peacock gudgeons. We got the little gobies in here. We've also got some super flat Borneo loaches that don't have a scientific name yet, but they're doing their thing. But mostly it is all about these Beckford pencilfish. I got them for $1 a piece at Aquarium Co-op. And, you know, the males, they're colored up like they want to spawn, the deep red up there. But the female hasn't let go of her eggs yet, so we'll see. I don't know what the deal is. We'll see if maybe tonight or the next day she spawns, because she's so ready to go. There's some other females that, you know, I'd even consider like they'll probably drop a few eggs too, but she's like ready for Funky Town. All right. So, and up here. Here's another set of rainbow fish and pseudomagills. Let's give them some food, get them showing off. There's also cully loaches in here and stuff. What about red corals? They sell for over 100. Red coral pencilfish, not easy to breed. Not hard to breed, but not easy. They have small groups of babies. They have like 3 to 10 babies that seem to grow up on average. But here we've got Gertrude Aru 4s. That's what the guy with the white fins is. Then we got the Melanitania Sau Island. And those are the guys with the pinstripes. We've got some thread fin, Werner eyes, and then we've got Pseudomygil luminatus down here, the red eye, or the red, neon red, blue eyes Pseudomygils. So there's a Pseudomygil right there, little beautiful female. I'm not seeing male Pseudomygils. Where are they? They might be somewhere else in the tank. That's weird though. I don't see the males. The males are usually sparring like out in the open, especially during feeding time. The Gertrudes are both in there, but I do not see the male Luminatus. There should be 3 of them in here. I see 3 females. I don't know where they are. And then in here we got my little wild beta embolus. They're cool. This one's a female for sure. No color, right? Then there's a really beautiful blue and green one back there. That's definitely the king of the group. Due to them eating each other and just shenanigans that are afoot, some of them feed at the bottom here, and this is all just dust. So the snails will eat it if the fish don't. That's why I like this fish meal. It's a good, just like overall high protein, 55%. Then we got my Tenixtes, Abelitis, and also the mother. That's the mother right there of the other of these guys. So this is the wild beta embolus mother, and these are the beta embolus babies. And then up here we've got another tank with it's got the my Episto. I've only got 2 Epistos right now. Spinster, hello. And then in here, just snails and paramecium water. Then in here, scud, and then this has some Daphnia and Cyclops also. So those are my like live food tanks for winter, kind of, which now I can kind of refit and form and make something else. Now in here, we've got shrimp, we got Malawa shrimp, vinegar eels in the bottles over there. And then we've got Malawa shrimp, some bettas are in there growing out too. It's just kind of a mixed bag. But yeah, and then again, I just figured, he's all ready for fierce action. He wants the blue ladies across the way, the powder blue females. And there goes the little snail up the blueberry snail is going up the mountain. But yeah, these red arc pencilfish are the same or very similar as those coral red pencilfish. There's that giant loach that I was telling you about. These ones here are real similar, and they're about as similar to breed as well. I am going to turn this light on up here. I want to show you guys the guppies. If we're doing an all tour. Now, I also need to get my act together for if I want to do anything for tubbing this year. I was so freaking bummed by how the raccoons treated me that I just kind of didn't want to do it even this year. In here, we've got the Blue Dream shrimp, which are also down in the loach tank too. Of course, they're all hiding right now. And then we've got some Silverado endlers. Also, we've got the green jade or green emerald shrimp in here. Where are they all? The light was just off, but I'm being impatient. I want them all to be right in front. Hello. Also, we've got the antler snails in here, the little red antler snails from Aquatic Arts, which I really like. They're really a cool one. Seriously, where are they? I only see a few of them. There's like a lot in here. When I put food out, they all come running. And they'll come to the food block right in this corner. There's also even neon tetras. And again, this is another tank where no filter, no heater. It's just warm in the room. We got a betta up here with the little Silverados. Then check out these guppies. So here is the male. Normal enough. But look at the female. Look at her belly. You can see absolutely through her belly when she turns and see all the babies she's holding. Completely translucent. You can see their eyes, their spinal cord, everything. It is bonkers. So that's a glass belly, ribbon fin blue. And those were originally from a lab. We got a few babies in there. They're just in a little 2.5 gallon. Again, no filter or anything. But we've got about a dozen babies in there. They're doing good. And we got some more Andouille pencilfish and a betta over there. And yeah, so another betta. That's a giant betta there. And that's kind of what's going on, guys. So let me transfer now back to the computer.
Click, check it out. What's it all about? I don't know why can't I get rid of this? Whatever. So that was the little field trip for the day. That's the fish room, more or less. Probably forgot some stuff, but yeah, Gary, I totally understand. I literally filled everything that holds water in the backyard too, just for Daphnia as well. And they're starting to hatch out. Let's see here. How did saltwater fish like flounder know about guppies in The Little Mermaid? Well, if we're going to be technical, they may have known about guppies and or endlers because those can be brackish. But I agree, that is very fishy. Very fishy. Yet, so Wassertang growing in tanks without filters, it does really well. Doesn't need any amount of light, basically. So one of those. No, fish FK. It wasn't a ring of death on the green Neocaridina. It's some of them are Riley's is all. I've never had that problem actually. Thomas says, would you wait, hold on. I'm not at the live point, but would you consider making a series where you show how to set up your jungle tanks and how you take care of them? That's kind of what my whole channel has been about. I've got videos on how I do lasagna substrate, how I plant a tank, how I do hardscape, how I do water changes, or if I do water changes versus top offs. I suppose I could maybe make that more condensed into a theory, but yeah, maybe I'll do that. But check out my other videos. I'm just more particulate about it. Like I break it down into very specific subjects because people have a lot of questions, What's the best way to grow Swaswatang? Low light, low nitrates. It can appreciate flow. It'll grow denser and kind of more like fitted to rocks and wood. But if you're just floating it around, honestly, just put it down towards the bottom so it gets the nutrients and like excess food and stuff falling on it. It seems to thrive from excess food and scraps and stuff that fall down on it. And then have some like snails underneath that can like clean it if need be. Shrimp are great with it too, but it definitely, it's a slow grower, but all of a sudden I'll walk in and I'll be like, wait, Aren't you a slow grower? And all of a sudden it'll be like all over the place. I'll have, at the store they sell it like a cup of it or like a little like, I don't know, sour cream container of it for like, I don't know, $10 or something. And I'm like, man, I have like $1,000 worth of Tang here if I sold it that way. Um, Coro, what is my preferred method to start a Daphnia or a Scud slash isopod culture? I just cycle up a tank like I would a QT tank. I use a piece of old filter media, put it in. Usually I'll use gravel um, because they like hiding in the gravel a lot. They also like aqua soil too, but it's not even necessary. And then I will usually do that. And then I will kind of uh, let plants grow for a little bit just to get a foothold. Then I generally just start. I mean, even at the early stage, a lot of times like day 3 or 4, I'll throw in whatever it is, scuds. But what I do is I put them in a jar. If I get them from the wild, I mean, it's best to get them from like a science supply store, which is like going to be like probably 50 to $80 with shipping. And that's not cheap. I get it. But if you could find like 10 people, no, not 10, but like 4 people who wanted to do that with you, it would get really cheap really quick. But same with like vinegar eels or anything else. The clear, guaranteed, pest-free samples are worth money for a lot of reasons. In that, if you go outside and you catch the Daphnia, you may have Daphnia, you may have scuds that also have a fungus or a bacteria that is a problem, or it may have nematodes that are in there that are deadly, and it may be specific just to your scuds or whatever, but it could also be something that doesn't even harm the scuds and is just a freeloader. That being said, I've had good luck with scuds and Daphnia, specifically Daphnia, even if I go get a net and use a fine mesh net at a pond, especially if you're in a temperate climate right now, um, they should right now be everywhere in the northern hemisphere. Like if you're anywhere that all the permafrost is gone and the snow's melted, as soon as the snow melts, they start coming back, and they don't like lakes that have a lot of like flow and fish and stuff like that necessarily. But they will be in like ponds and puddles and like drainage ditches on the side of the road that stay flush with water that's not moving. You'll be able to get them, especially at night. You can use a flashlight, hold it over the one spot for 4 or 5 minutes, even just like set it down on the bank and let it shine somewhere and then scoop it up. Do you think live blackworms is a sufficient food for angelfish? No, I would switch it up. They eat a little bit of organic plant material in their diets in the wild. They also eat a lot of insects. So I will usually give them just a little bit of something with spirulina. Black, like fluval bug bites is great, but I will add some fluval bug bites, some just filler flake, whatever color enhancing flakes or something. And also, yeah, I think that's about really it. I mean, and then I'll give them anything else, like you said, like blackworms or baby brine or even like adult brine shrimp or tubifex worms. All that's great. Guys, it is LRB's time, and I don't want to run over his time. Yes, CO2 is great for Tang as well, Mike. Thank you for that suggestion. Coro, I'm going to have sunfish and sticklebacks this summer. I can't help myself. I have a problem. Is an electric blue Acara okay for a beginner? I wouldn't suggest it, but it's probably doable if you have over a 40-gallon tank. it's gonna bully a lot of other fish that you will probably be suggested to care for. So if you have an aquarium, you might as well get a couple, and then from there out, you're gonna have like those, maybe some Corridoras or a Pleco, and you're gonna have a little bit more of a rough and tumble tank, honestly. But it's doable, and they have babies readily, and they're pretty. And I'd plant it well, and then also give them lots of hiding spots, lots of caves, lots of little rocks and stuff. So guys, thank you so much for your support, for watching. Coro, thank you so much for the member gift. That was really kind of you. But let's hop over to Lucas Brett's. I want Lucas to know that I support him, that he's my buddy still. So Alex says hi is the hashtag. If you guys want to hop over to LRB Aquatics and say hello, watch his stream and whatnot. So that kind of looks funny, but Alex says hi. That'll be the hashtag. I'm hopping over there. Thank you guys so much for being you, for rocking in the free world, for rocking in the jailed world, for rocking in the third world, wherever you may be rocking. Thank you for rocking with me. I had a good time tonight. I'm feeling good still. Thank you. You guys really do help. Make me. You guys pick me up. You help me fly on angel's wings. On eagle's wings, not angel's wings. Don't do that. I don't want to die yet. All right, guys. Much love. I'll see you guys probably Tuesday, and then tomorrow there should be a video. And if you're does anybody have a link to Lucas Brett's channel? It's lrbaquatics.com. lrbaquatics.com. But he's a nature tank guy. He doesn't do everything the way I would do it. He has some different beliefs than me, but for the most part, I like what he does. I rock with the spirit of how he does it, and he's a kind person to me, and always been helpful. And he's been on YouTube since 6 months before me, basically. So I feel like we've been in the trenches. Well, I don't know where any links are, and I can't link from the app I'm in right now, but you guys will find it if you Google LRB Aquatics. Lucas something Brett's LR as in reindeer. lrbaquatics.com. lrbaquatics.com. All right, guys. I got to go. Check out that Dan sale. Use the code if you want. Also, I think Aquatic Arts might have some crabs going on sale this weekend too. I don't know. Check it out. Check out all the sales, all the places. And I will see you guys again soon. Much love.